No, we're good. We're good. Oh, well, yeah, we're good.
All right, we're doing a countdown to start.
That scares me.
Countdown, let's go. All right. 3, 2, 1, Tetris!
And we are off and running. KORYAN from Japan. We have Robin Mahara, competitor for years, founder of this actual tournament. See Robin kind of doing some burns, getting settled in. A pretty stressful competition day and a pretty stressful matchup for Robin.
Yeah, and this room is loud, and that has to be affecting the players a little bit, but we will see.
Oh, and right into a drought. You see a misflip over there from KORYAN, just pushed up a little too high.
But finally, the first Tetris of the entire game for KORYAN.
He's able to clean that up pretty nicely. He's burning it down.
And here is a Tetris for Robin, so
Pretty close game at the beginning here.
it usually is. But KORYAN with the Tetris goes up by 1 Tetris.
And they just start building, knocking him down. Robin seems to have settled in after taking those kind of early burns. He probably didn't like the piece set, and instead of building risky, kind of kept it low and waited for the right time to start building up. KORYAN going for a dirty Tetris, gives up on it right before the long bar comes. And Robin knocks down one and takes a lead.
KORYAN's struggling to get that right side open, just not getting the exact right pieces to do so.
Yeah.
Finally does, though. But has to leave a gap in his stack on the left side, which is going to take some cleanup later or right now.
So KORYAN, I believe, is your number 2 seed? He had 2 max outs in the qualifying time and a really nice third score kicker as a backup.
There we go. You can see KORYAN with the Tetris sigh of relief. Finally, with a decent-looking stack, Tetrises. Now, Tetris is on level 18 worth 22,800 points, so every 20,000 points you see separating players will be about a Tetris.
Couple tough pieces there for Robin, but he gets his well open in time and knocks down a Tetris. Boom, Tetris for Robin.
Yeah, so Robin here with a 2 Tetris lead in the early goings. A lot of early burning from KORYAN, uncharacteristic. And we're coming up on basically halfway to transition.
And he misses the spin. The timing on that rotation is really tough.
Yeah.
At this speed. Just takes a couple lines to clean it up, though. And boom, Tetris, back and forth. Robin maintaining a little under a Tetris lead here. Just nice, clean building, knocking down Tetrises. We saw in round 0 a lot of early top outs, people playing very aggressively, maybe taking a few too many risks, and RNG not helping them out.
Yeah, so even though the RNG is fixed for both players, it might not be great for your stack at a given time.
Yes. And as you see, we're running into a drought, not a brutal one, just a little insidious, pushing you up higher than you want to go. And Robin,
good 12th grade vocabulary there, insidious.
Thank you. Robin maintaining that Tetris lead. KORYAN gets longer, but he's not built up for the Tetris. There he goes. Boom, Tetris for KORYAN.
Now we are neck and neck for the first time really in this match.
And KORYAN takes the lead back for the first time in a while. Robin cleaning up some traffic there on his board. Not interested in a center well right now. He just wants to, or maybe he'll have to, stick with it.
Yeah, sometimes the board forces you to go somewhere other than where you're intending.
Yeah, there's just nowhere else to put the pieces you're getting, and suddenly you're center welling. So KORYAN now able to pull out a bit of a lead, build up his advantage. And now waiting, moves the square over. He saw the long bar coming, gets the Tetris. That square overhang is a fairly easy solve with a little piece to tuck underneath. nice clear from KORYAN. You see the nods from him. He's starting to settle in, feel pretty good.
KORYAN now with just about a 3 Tetris lead and over 100 lines, so players are going to start kind of getting their stacks ready for the transition.
At the same time, running into this drought now, we're at danger zone in this. My goodness, a 35-piece drought. You see KORYAN take the Tetris time, the line clear time to look over and see how Robin's doing. He may have been hoping that Robin did not survive the drought as well as he did.
Yeah, Robin has closed the gap a little bit here. Basically a Tetris and a half difference now separating these players.
And right into another drought. Now, a 30 drought is pretty brutal. A 15-20 drought is kind of standard for these types of games. Still not fun.
I mean, it's all fun.
And we are so close to the transition right now. Robin only back about a Tetris and a half. And as you go through the levels, you get more points for Tetrises. I saw Robin playing really great 19 Tetris yesterday, 19 plus. It's the same drop speed up until level 29. A slight misdrop, but a little tuck from Robin makes it look like it was intentional. KORYAN now looking strong. Although that little sequence wasn't his favorite thing. He's able to stay Tetris ready, knock it down, and open up his largest lead of the game.
But it's still going to be a few pieces before KORYAN is ready to...
Oh, and Robin hangs up, the L hangs up, and he can't get the
He
long
can't
bar
get the piece
over.
over, and KORYAN is good.
So first game to KORYAN.
Yeah, players were asking where's Joseph's match. I think because he was in the top left-hand corner of the bracket. I think the bracket, kind of the order of the matches is not going to follow exactly the top seed. So it'll eventually.
They're getting ready to start game 2. Robin versus KORYAN. Three, two, one, Tetris! You see the exact same build so far from these two players. A slight adjustment from KORYAN for that square piece. And you can see the difference that made. He's Tetris ready, he's got a real solid build, and gets that first Tetris.
So these early rounds are going to be best of 3, and then we're going to move to best of 5 for the top 8.
For the top
so.
8, yes. Another Tetris for KORYAN. Robin's still not quite Tetris ready. And with this piece, he gets it
There
just
it
in
is.
time, and boom, but Tetris for Robin.
Before we're waiting for our second game, just a word to thank our sponsors, Mississippi Pizza. Got a craving for
Both
pizza
players
here?
building really nicely right now.
Pizza on historic Mississippi Ave, featuring
These are nice stable stacks.
full cocktail.
Boom, boom, simul Tetris. You see KORYAN really settled in right now. That initial misflip in that first game could have been a little bit of first game nerves.
But, basically every 20 lines, players are going to be looking to score between 80 and 100,000 points to have a really good aggressive pace. And that should get them to like a 5 to 600K transition if they can maintain that pace.
Series of kind of tough pieces there for Robin. He opens it up and is ready for a center well. Let's see if he gets the long bar. He keeps waiting, takes a nice little safety triple, and as you can see, he's in a drought right now.
Which is like the worst time to start building a center well, but you can't predict it.
It is hard to keep a center well open for business. We've seen it in the past. You end up with kind of builds like this. Great tucks for Robin, and boom! Hardy down the middle for Robin.
And there's one for KORYAN.
And another one.
And so KORYAN's up by about 3 Tetrises now.
Yeah, KORYAN, a nice early lead here.
boom, Robin Tetris.
You see KORYAN able to skim things to the right and keep his well open for Tetrises. It's just a lot easier without the center well. Simul Tetris. Seeing these nice kind of elevated, delayed clears from Robin. He blocks as well, but he knows he's going to be able to uncover it with the next piece. Just really great gameplay. Shaking his head. There was a T-spin potential, but it didn't come in time. So now he's got a little bit of cleanup to do. And boom, Tetris for KORYAN.
See if Robin's going to go dirty center well here. Oh no, he's going to burn it down. Oh no,
Oh,
he's
no,
built
he
up
is.
for it, and there it is.
There it is.
Just in time. Great sequence for Robin.
So KORYAN still building so clean. Hasn't really seemed to be in trouble yet in this game. And he's opened up an 80,000 point lead at this, where are we at? 71 lines.
Yeah, just a little over halfway to transition.
And another Tetris for KORYAN. His Tetris rate right now, 74%, well past max out rate. It's just very consistent play, able to turn a lot of these burned lines, convert them through Tetrises.
Trying to open up that right side is KORYAN.
Great stacking from Robin too, wow.
Some unfortunate pieces here for KORYAN, but still able to do that. That hyper tap is going to allow him to play a little bit higher than a DAS player and kind of take on some of these kind of high wire act builds here. And finally opens up the right side. And boom, Tetris for KORYAN.
Robin was able to cut into that lead for a little bit there. Now he's just waiting for another long bar. And KORYAN opens up 6-digit lead there for a second.
Robin set up for a dirty center.
Very exciting play from Robin.
High score.
And another drought. He opts not to wait. It's risky.
Yeah, especially, about 20 lines from the transition. That has a potential to fester, and then you're just going to end up with a stack you don't want when the speed increases by 50%.
Robin playing so well, knocks down another Tetris. KORYAN gets another one. You can see that Robin has been pressing down, so he's a little bit ahead of KORYAN in terms of the burn lines. He will reach the transition first at this rate. And boom, Tetris for KORYAN. 66% Tetris rate. It's come down a little bit. Still very high.
So Robin transitions about 420. KORYAN has one more Tetris potentially before he transitions, which he's going to get.
Which he gets. And boom, transition for KORYAN.
So transitioning about 4 Tetrises ahead of Robin is
It's a strong place to be. Robin gets a little Z-burst there. Does always make your stack so spiky. Great tuck. That's such a small window to pull that move off at this drop speed.
Oh, that left side's going to be real tough for Robin right now. But he gets, one of the few pieces you can get over there.
The square. Our good friend, the Smash Boy.
All right, great clear down by Robin.
Good cleanup. Unfortunately, that's only a triple. And KORYAN opening up 130,000 point lead right now. Robin's hoping that KORYAN makes a mistake, tops out, and he can chase down this score.
Oh, nice sequence for Robin.
Great work getting those pieces over.
And
boom, Tetris for Robin. Of course, KORYAN, especially with that hyper tap, able to survive at these speeds. Those really nice clears. Let's see what he does with this build. Is he gonna build a Tetris there or kind of keep it safe? Ooh, another great tuck from Robin. His timing has really been great in this tournament.
Tuck's so dangerous on 19 too, because if you mistime it, you can lose DAS, and then that happens on 19. Your game could be over immediately.
Yeah, it also just is terrible for your stack to miss a tuck. KORYAN still playing so well. Drops down another Tetris. Tetris rate still around 61%. And another one.
Another one for Robin, though.
Robin hanging in there for sure.
That's another eyepiece to bail him out of it here.
And another one for Robin.
He's trying to cut into this lead that KORYAN's built up. We're on level 24 for KORYAN, 25 for Robin, so he's a level ahead, 160,000 points down.
Oh no, that could end up being fatal for Robin.
And then another one.
Yeah, oh. And he's going to need to get a piece over, which he's going to need to quick tap that over, and
it's
he's not going to be able to do it. And
game
Robin
over.
pops out.
KORYAN advances. KORYAN is the winner. Great games from both players.
All right, guys, we're going to start on the side stage. In 3, 2, 1, Tetris!
Scotto have begun their side stage battle.
So Marc, a known hyper tapper, anchors the controller against his knee.
A known hyper tapper has
known.
moved into your neighborhood.
Tell your friends. Study his technique. And Marc had a bit of a misdrop to the left. He didn't get the Z piece quite to the wall, and he ended up having to do, well, what you're seeing now to try to fix it.
Yeah, so that's allowed Scotto to open up a little bit of an early lead
And
here.
boom, Tetris for Scotto. Boom, Tetris for Marc. That is one of the differences between hyper tapping and DAS playing, is kind of that one off the wall or against the wall location. If you're going all the way to the left wall as a DAS player, you just keep holding it down.
Ooh,
but for
nice
a hyper tapper, you have to press it enough times to get it all the way over.
Yeah. A couple of nice, an S-spin
Great
and a Z-pin
spin from
just a few
Scotto.
pieces later.
Some nice skims from Scotto to keep his well open.
Yeah, tricky kind of top of his board position. No real good place to put any flat pieces.
Boom,
but
Tetris for Scotto.
able to open up his board and get a Tetris.
Seeing some really nice builds, some nice adjustments from Scotto, just to keep his board a little bit more flexible and accommodate more pieces, which is so helpful in situations like this where he runs into another drought.
Left well going for Marc here, yes. Waiting for that long bar. Should be able to tap it over, no problem, and does.
Boom. Right side Tetris, left side Tetris.
Let's see if he keeps that open. Yeah, he's going to keep that open.
Oh,
And there
a
it is.
slight mistake there from Scotto. Should be able to clean this up.
Yeah, that's going to lose some pace, though, to Marc. And Marc looks like he's going to shift as well over to the left side. Try to clear all this down and get back to a traditional sloping left to right build.
Not playing one off the ground.
Oh, might go center well here, but getting an O-burst.
Yes, that's a lot of Smash Boys.
Is that what we're doing now? We're doing
That's
that?
the only one I like. I like the Smash Boy
And
name.
what's the other one?
I don't care.
The Rhode
Smash
Island
Boy's my only
something.
guy. So Scotto maintaining about a 20,000 point lead so far in this match. Marc has had some kind of shifting builds, left side, right side, early shifts on pieces, or not quite getting it where he needs it to go. And so he's ended up burning quite a few lines. You see he's burned 19 lines now 20, now 21, now 22.
Finally opens up the right side.
Oh, and of course now a drought. Scotto gets up a little high, but the line comes in time. His stack still looks good. Marc's stack now looking a little more stable, knocks down a Tetris. Scotto opens up a 40,000 point lead with that Tetris. Looking strong. Oh, and just a series of pieces there for Marc that didn't fit in his stack very well. And another Tetris for Scotto. Boom, simul Tetris.
There it is. But still now a 3 Tetris lead, just under for Scotto.
All right, so Scotto's setting up a couple overhangs and is able to fill them in almost immediately.
Got another overhang sort of for Scotto.
Well, this one's a little trickier. Only the red L, J, whichever one it is, will clean that up.
Draw it in the air. Yes, that is a J.
And he opts not to wait for it. If it's a one-piece solve, odds are you're not going to get it in time.
Let's see if he goes for the column 9. And yeah, he's going to be able to do it. And boom.
Tetris for Scotto.
So here we go. As Matt and Ben battle
Just
it out.
very consistent play here.
Up top, Joseph, the reigning
Able to maintain now this 40,000 point lead.
and has been competing for several years. Will battle it out.
Yeah, Scotto a DAS player, Marc hyper tapper. And you do see early shifts sometimes here from Marc, and people think, well, he's not DAS, why would there be an early shift? There's a window right after the line clear where you want to get your taps in, just right after the board, the piece enters the board. And so you can actually have like an early hyper tap.
Early tap?
Yeah, early tap load.
Just really nice building from both players right now.
Yeah, but we are coming up very quickly here on this transition, and Scotto still with about a 4 Tetris lead, a little under that. But kind of a risky kind of build over on the left side, only 10 pieces.
Oh, and Marc is up really high. Let's see if he can get something to the left to kind of keep him in the game here. Oh,
no,
and he misses the hyper tap. Can he? And that's it. Marc tops out. That drought pushed him up. And Scotto takes game 1 with a 100,000 point lead. Nice strong play from Scotto in his first appearance at the CTWC.
Gets a heart.
Scotto Bozo, primarily a Ratchet and Clank speedrunner, so if you are in that community, you know his name. But he has, like many of us, fallen in love with Tetris.
3, 2, 1.
Tetris! And game 2 is off and running. Very different builds from these two players.
First 2 pieces same, third piece threw the whole thing off.
They both get Tetris ready. Oh, but Marc covers up as well. So you see one Tetris and one triple. You can see the point difference that turns into for these two players. That's why these players hate to take a triple if they don't have to. Great L spin, and then the tuck from Scotto.
Big brain strats there.
Just really fun to watch these moves. Alright, so Scotto, not interested in a center well.
Not this early.
And Marc has a couple kind of alternating burn shelves, trying to get back down to somewhere where he can score.
A couple of J dependencies. Gets one of the J's, and yeah, that long bar will help a lot. So back to a clean board pretty darn quickly.
So Scotto with an early lead, 38,000 points. But Marc now looking clean, able to skim, and then boom, Tetris for Marc.
Game number 2 underway now.
All right, Marc Tetris ready, and look at that, immediate long bar. Isn't that nice?
Oh, he's from Germany, so we could say Achtung, Tetris for Marc.
It's like the only German word I know.
Yes.
Or schnitzel. I know schnitzel.
All right, so Marc has quite the Z-Spire on the left, but since it's against the wall, he can just keep chucking them over there.
Yeah, there's a smart little sequence here, minor little micro adjustment for Marc, where he could have chosen to make 2 LJ dependencies, but instead only made 1.
All right, so Scotto, not the best situation, but he gets the long bar in time to then dig out that misdrop to the left.
Scotto trying to dig right back down. Oh no, it looks like he's going to go center well here.
Okay.
By the way,
He may have noticed that he lost the lead and he wants to stay a little bit more aggressive. Back and forth lead changes, such a close game. We can safely call this neck and neck.
I think we can. That should become a thing.
Next up on stage.
Marc takes the lead back for now.
All right, so we're just about halfway to transition. Transition to level 19 takes place at 130 lines, so if they keep this pace, you can sort of double their scores to get an estimate of where they'll end up.
And Marc with, I think, the largest lead he's been able to pull out in this match, 40,000 points. But Scotto cuts that down with that Tetris.
So both players set up, ready, waiting.
Boom, boom. Back-to-back Tetrises for these players. Perfect square for Scotto's overhang there. It's nice when the piece you need comes relatively quickly and you're able to solve your stack sooner.
Yeah, you can see Scotto definitely. I mean, people think, oh, don't you just put the pieces where they fit? No, but there are definitely stylistic differences between players. And Scotto definitely with a lot of intentional tucks and sort of like second order tucks.
As we see right there. Oh, running into a drought right now.
Oh, this is tough for Scotto. Oh, that left-sided could be fatal for Scotto.
Oh, I don't know if he's going to be able to get
Oh,
this
he's
line
not gonna be able to do it,
over.
and that's going to be it for Scotto.
And that's game 2 for
Yep.
Marc with a 100,000 point lead. Very interesting difference between game 1 and game 2 there.
We've got a decider.
We've got a game 3. You see both players kind of taking deep breaths, very focused.
Let's hear it for round 3. In
3, 2, 1,
Tetris!
Scotto with the initial press down for 12 points.
That's it. If it ended right now, Scotto would win.
Oh my gosh, a lot of early lines and neither player ready to capitalize with a Tetris.
There's a lot of white on that board.
Scotto finally set up, gets the first Tetris, Marc right behind him.
So that 12-point difference coming into play here.
I guess if you are the first press down, you have the first lead of the game. So there could be some psychology at play there.
Intimidation factor. There's a game within the game.
A bit of a drought there, both players not even phased. And Scotto back to his 12-point lead. This is back and forth. If he had not pressed down, this would be a tie game.
Yeah, this 12-point lead could be insurmountable. You know, there's some hyper-tappers who do press down. Marc doesn't appear to be one of them.
It's a lot of inputs,
It's a lot of stuff to do.
My God, just very close games still. Both players, nice clean stacks, knocking down Tetrises. Scotto had a couple burns in there that made the difference slightly larger.
Right, so both players like perfect looking boards right now. And both of them Tetris. And look at this lead. I mean, there's like just swapping this tiny amount of points back and forth, keeping pace with one another.
They keep getting these kind of little mini droughts, just enough that you have to make faster decisions because you're a little closer to the top of the screen. Both players just building up, trying to get Tetris ready. Marc is ready, has to cut it down. Another drought coming.
Yeah, Scotto's board getting a little bit messed up here. It's going to take a little bit of cleanup.
Yeah, both players now with a hole near the bottom of their stack. See if they decide to cut down to it or build on top of it. Oh, Marc with a couple pieces there he wasn't ready for. Now he's got some holes on the left side. That just means for a while, anything he does.
Yeah, but he turned that line dependency into sort of an immediate Tetris well here, so if he can get a quick long bar here, but no, it's not.
And he really held out, and it's, as you can see, the drought counter going.
Yeah, he's got that tricky gap in the center of his stack, so he's going to have to, he builds, okay, so he's got, I don't know what he's got.
He's got a couple problems, is what he's got.
Yeah, don't we all? All right, so he could be set up for it. Oh, he's going to burn it down instead of going for a risky Tetris. Probably the right thing to do.
And Scotto, while Marc has been dealing with this stack full of holes, Scotto opened up 88,000 point lead.
So 4 Tetrises behind. But this is some pretty good pace for Scotto here.
As we saw in the last game, this is kind of the difference between Tetrises and triples. The 100,000 point lead now for Scotto. Marc was surviving, knocking down triples a lot of those times. He just wasn't in time for the long bars with his build.
So a couple of line dependencies here for Scotto, and that's going to cause him to create a few more holes in his stack. But still, I mean, 120,000 point lead here going into 100 lines. It's substantial.
Oh. Little awkward placement there with that piece for Scotto. All right, so he's been pushed up the board a bit. And Marc knocks down a Tetris, cuts into the lead.
Oh, little early
that
shift for
early
Scotto.
shift. But he gets a couple helpful pieces.
Yeah, he's going to want to burn this down right quick because transition
is looming.
25 lines away, and it looms. It's like the only verb that transitions do. They loom, and that's about it.
Scotto just still up pretty high, not where he wants to be.
And pieces not being very nice here.
He's not out of it if he can get some more helpful pieces here. But the transition keeps looming closer and closer.
Ooh. He quick tapped that over to the left.
Oh, that square is not what he wanted right then.
And 8 lines away from the transition is Scotto, and he is high up.
If he can get and Scotto
That's
tops
going to
out.
be fatal. So
Marc has to chase down now.
Yeah.
So he has to keep playing. He is 2 lines from the transition.
It's going to be about 2.5 Tetrises on 19. Going to try to get one of those Tetrises now.
The drought. He gets one. Boom, Tetris for Marc. The audience shouting out to Marc what he needs to get.
Definitely don't listen to the audience.
You can't trust them.
No.
You can't trust us. The ref is here. Will tell you the score that you need to get. That is their job. He could burn it out. 15,000 points now. He has enough game left that he could do just a lot of singles and still get it. He goes for the Tetris and takes game 3, and Marc advances and celebrates. A lot of passion from Marc. Good games, both players. What a match. Came down to game 3.
Yeah, Scotto played awesome.
What a great first showing from Scotto. You can see he had a 52% Tetris rate. He had the lead. He just topped out early in the game, and there was enough time left for Marc to catch up.
Well, fuck.